Ladies and gentlemen, presenting before you Mr. Mahesh Shahdadpuri. Thank you.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. I was a bit embarrassed. Sorry to bore you all with such a long introduction. Many people just ignore everything else and just focus on the fact that I ride a Harley or I race a sports car. And learning the bike happened here in Manipal. So, good afternoon. Come on, Manipal, all those young souls there, good afternoon. Yes, now let's get some excitement. Excellencies, dignitaries, faculty, and the special class of 2019. Congratulations on this momentous day. You are here where I was many years back. I'm a product of Manipal. We are all a product of Manipal. Aren't we the best? That's good. I think the fans are having effect. Good. We share so many experiences together. I was last night walking on the road outside. You have a really fancy mall there. We didn't have that. We didn't have McDonald's or Subway. That's why I went and opened a Subway. No, I'm just kidding. We had Big Daddy's. We had Shanties. I still remember their small cheese sandwich. And I loved the filter coffee. RL, TC is still called TC. There's so much change, so many new buildings. We have a lot of common experiences. Fast forward 27 years. Oh, I feel old. I'm not old. But time really, really flies by. So let me not preach to you anything today. You probably know a lot more than me. I think there's a lot to learn from you young souls out there. But allow me to bore you a little with a little life story. I was born in a 400 square feet home. My wife is in the front here. She doesn't like me to say this, but her shoe cabinet is probably that size today. And my parents migrated from Pakistan in 1947, and it was a refugee colony. I was lucky that I had a father who got selected into the Indian Foreign Service, and we went around 5 countries. It was very interesting, but it was also hard for this young boy who had to keep changing countries every 2 to 3 years and work really hard at getting accepted from one class to another class. I will weave into certain life lessons, and the life lesson and in my speech, and the life lesson there was I had to quickly adapt. I had to quickly make relationships fast. I had to quickly build trust fast. And I'm connecting as I get older all the different dots that I have in my life and how they have actually come together. And I'll try to paint you a story, maybe a little boring one. At school, I went to the Air Force School in Delhi for the last 4 years, and I think about 5 schools around the world. Some as far as America and China, and some as Saudi Arabia and Libya. And you know, it used to be quite hard in those days. The boarding house there was very tough. I remember the first day they woke us up, ting, 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 the bell at 5:45 in the morning. I wasn't used to it. I actually turned up at 6:15. I was just getting still dressed up. And the guy and the professor said, you know, give me 20 laps of a double basketball court. I was like, whoa. The bullying was intense. The discipline was really hard. I have to tell some of you that bullying is not a sign of things to come, but that really showed me and taught me how to be disciplined and how to stand up for myself. At Manipal, after that, I loved it. I was really happy to see anti-ragging posters. I wish there were those posters there back then. I was a freshie with a white shirt, white pant. We weren't allowed to wear shoes, bata chappal. We weren't allowed to wear a watch. Clean wrist. I had a nice mustache, by the way, but thanks to those seniors who made me shave it off, I think I look better like that. And our hair had to be cut really, really short. I think our protector was this nice gentleman sitting in the front, Professor KK. Thank you for protecting. I don't think you were very successful then, though. We got ragged quite a bit. But generally, the friendships we made here were amazing. But soon the friendships and everything ended, and we had to start looking for a job. In those days, not many companies came here, and some of us got jobs, and I didn't. I was a good student. I had a DIST, which stands for distinction. I don't know whether you still use those words here. But I didn't get a job. What was wrong? I couldn't stay in India because my father had just moved to Dubai, so I left for Dubai. In Dubai, nobody would give me a job. I struggled. I struggled on the phone. Nobody would even give me an interview. I still remember going to IBM, or the agency of IBM in those days in 1992, and he said, "You really are brilliant, son, but I don't have a job for a fresher." What was I learning? And if I connect the dots, I think rejections make you stronger. I think you need to adapt. Finally, I got a job in Dubai. They said, "You're going to fix computers." Wow, I did a degree in electronics and I was going to fix computers. Actually, it turned out my boss didn't really teach me anything, and I was cleaning computers. So I quit that job in 3 months. I got another job, and I had a young guy. I hope he's not watching this speech. And he had just started a company. He didn't have even space for me. And he put my desk in the corridor. I was like, really? And he would come every morning. He was American educated, and sit back on his reclining chair and go, "What's up, man?" to his friends. And I was like, what the hell is he going to teach me? So I said, let me take life into my hands. I went down to the basics. I started making calls to unknown people. It was very hard. I had to push myself to get outside my comfort zone. But that's when I really realized that I was good at sales. And that's when I tell you about my story, personal and in entrepreneurship. But the life lesson here, probably for some of you, is get down to the basics when you're unsure. But I got bored again. I get bored very easily. That's another story for another day. And I left to go to Boston. I went to do my MBA. I loved Boston University. I think I made my first 30 friends, and they had like 35 friends and 30 nationalities. It was just amazing. 2 years passed very fast. I started looking for a job in the second year. I looked. I thought I was quite international with my background. I thought I was quite American. But it was very difficult to get a job. And more so difficult because I needed a marketing job, not an engineering or IT job or a sales job. I felt I was more good with people. And I felt that I was connected to the country. I knew the culture. I still remember, I have to confess, going for a job in sales. And I have to confess, I couldn't understand their English. It was so slangy. It was so like street slangy. And I came back very dejected. I searched. I think I had 50 versions of my resume. I got rejected out of interviews, and I thought I wasn't good enough. But finally, I hit a jackpot. After 12 interviews, I got a job with Intel. Great company. In those days, that fabrication facility where the Alpha processor was getting manufactured was called Digital. One of the first computer companies like IBM. It opened its office in Bangalore in 1999, and I remember we went for our industrial training there. So, things do work out. Be culturally open, adapt, persevere, don't give up. I loved my job. I loved working there. It was a big company, great health insurance. I went out, I bought a big TV, I bought a nice sports-looking car, a red car, I bought a couch. I couldn't afford a coffee table, so I never had a coffee table. And I went to the Department of Motor Vehicles there and got a license plate. And I went in the front and I said, give me a license plate. And they said, you can have any number you want. I said, really? And they said, yeah. I said, how much is it going to cost me? They said, $100. In Dubai nowadays, that goes for millions of dirhams. So it's very cheesy, but I got a license plate called Mahesh. I have a photo with Mahesh, red car, and I was so excited. It was such a great time. But soon again, I got bored. I don't think I was challenged enough. And I remember my state of mind that time. I, in fact, went to a mall and I saw a book. And the title of the book represented my state of mind. And it said, I would be happy with what I want to do if only I knew what I really want to do. I was so confused. So I'm learning, I'm connecting the dots here, and I think that I needed challenges, and working in a big company wasn't challenging enough for me. And finally, I was like, let's do my own company. I've always wanted to do my own company. In fact, at Manipal, I have to tell you a secret. I used to buy tickets in Mangalore from a travel agency and sell it to my friends here in Manipal, and I used to make a little bit of money. So I wanted to do my own business. I started my first company in 1999. It was called Adastrum Technology. Some of you have heard. So excited. I wanted to build $1 billion company. I borrowed money from the bank. I put in a lot of family money. I put in all my money, whatever little that was. In fact, I borrowed from family and friends. I promised the world to my employees. I worked so hard. I sacrificed. I had my first daughter then. And I couldn't see her for 8 months because I was traveling from Dubai to America. So the company was New York and Bangalore. And I was in Dubai, so it's very, very intense. I still remember going to New Jersey airport to receive my wife and daughter. And she actually recoiled. She said, who's this strange man? A lot of sacrifices. A year passed. I lost everything. Yes, I lost everything. I lost all my money, a lot of family money, a lot of the bank money, all the bank money actually. What a year can do. It was a humbling experience. My confidence took a huge blow. I was recently married. What was my wife thinking? I think my parents and my wife really supported me during that period. And for us entrepreneurs, personal and family is very closely intertwined. It was a very difficult period. I still remember in New York in our small apartment, sitting on the bed and calculating how many months more money do I have to survive? My dream, would I sell it? Do I close it? What do I do? I ultimately had to close it. I think those days I was not present in the moment. When I took my wife out to dinner in a diner, I was not present. When I was listening to music in the car, I was not present. I think I had a permanent lump in my throat of regret and disappointment. Wasn't I an achiever? Wasn't I good? I got good marks in Manipal and in Boston. I'm grateful my father, who was a reasonably okay businessman, he does very well now, gave me a job. He's a very wonderful guy, tough guy, and I didn't really like working for him. I think we both took it very hard. I had put him back several years in his savings, and I had wanted to run my own business. I wasn't getting along with him, honestly. He's a great guy, but we have different styles of business. But I thought, I told Payal, my wife, I don't think in this lifetime I would do my business. I'd probably go and find work. I used to feel a little odd when I looked at my peers, my friends who worked for their dad's businesses. And then one day, just like that, I started feeling ready again. I had learned from my father's business. I was working with him for about 3 years. What he does and I would not do, and what he didn't do, and I must do. Things that were so obvious that I had missed in my first business. And I was getting bored again. I was ready to do it again. I wanted to do it again. I wanted to start a company, carefully this time, and grow it very fast and very aggressively. That's when I started a few companies that are part of my group today. I think it all came together, a making of something, smelting and preparation in the furnace of life. I wanted to create a company, something special, something different. I wanted a company on rocket fuel, on steroids. That was exciting, to build something the best in the world. Nothing less would do to be number one. Today we have won, as you heard, 21 awards, the President's Award, the Prime Minister's Award. We have 5,000 people from 77 nationalities. We have operations in 20 countries. We have a consumer electronics business. We have 80 million customers. We have a private electronics brand. We have a food business. We have a logistics business. We have a restaurant business. Mom and Dad, I think I did okay. My professional journey is a very fulfilling one. I love what I do. But it's been a journey of sacrifice, hard work, and living on the edge many times. I think founding and running a company is one of the most holistic and balancing acts. One has to be good at so many things: marketing, strategy, human resources, processes, technology, systems. And what's good at one stage may not be really good at another. The uncertainties, fears, and doubts are a constant battle. And most of the times, ladies and gentlemen, it's lonely at the top. But I wouldn't trade it for anything else. It may be a roller coaster ride, but it's totally worth it. People visit our offices today and say there's a buzz on the floor. Perhaps that's an achievement, to have created a culture of agility, speed, and performance. One has to be running all the time. A quote inspires me a lot. I would share it with you. Every morning, by the way, I was in Africa a few months back. This didn't come from there, but it's very inspiring. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or be killed. Every morning, a lion wakes up. It knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. Right from the school days, the disappointments and setbacks were preparing me for something. They were teaching me something. But I didn't know that. I tell my older daughter, Ashna, that everything is a process. If you're failing, welcome it. If you're getting rejected, welcome it. Because you may not get your result right away. It may feel like you're not moving ahead. But you know what? You are. You are moving ahead. You just don't know it yet. I didn't know it. Respect the process. Respect the process of failing and learning. I would strongly urge you to read Carol Dweck's book. It's called The Mindset. I'm so glad actually now that I faced failure earlier in my life. If you face failure earlier, you will also see success earlier. And here are some of the messages that inspire me that I try to lead my life by. The college magazine here in 1992, of which I was editor, was called Ad Astrum. It means reach for the stars. So reach for the stars, no less. Never give up. In the words of a fellow MITian who helped me write our college annual, I would recite a small poem that you would find it interesting and perhaps inspirational. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far. Is it worth the effort? Can I do it? Are the odds against me? It's at times like these when quitting seems so much easier that we mustn't give up. It's this ability to hold on a minute longer than the others that differentiates the leader and the led. It differentiates the people who succeed and who do not. Don't stop learning. I went back to Harvard Business School to do an OPM course. Fantastic. Don't stop learning. Learn from everywhere. Learn from everyone. Learn from nature. Learn from kids. I learned so much from you all. And kids, smaller kids. Learn from animals. Learned so much in my African safari trip. There is learning everywhere if you are curious and you have the humility to absorb and accept. Diligence and discipline are magical words. The key for success is execution. Get up and do it. Take the first step. Take the second step. Follow up. Make sure it's done. Be passionate. Go for what you love. Money and success comes to those who pursue their dreams and passions. Explore. Blossom. Get out there. Play a little. Experiment a little. Be you. Be you. And finally, maybe your parents and teachers have told you this. Exercise. That's the best calmer and natural high and releases endorphins that make you naturally happy. One more thing. Meditate. If you meditate, you can change the world. Take a few minutes out. Breathe. Breathe. And calm your mind. And you will get solutions to many of the complex problems that you may face, especially when you're alone. At least I do. Some okays and not okays. It's okay to be disappointed, but it's not okay to not try again. It's okay to be unloved. It's not okay to not love again. It's okay to be wronged. It's not okay to not forgive. It's okay to fall. It's not okay to not get up and not to run again. It's okay to feel disappointed, sad, and judged. It's not okay to feel limited and capped. Can I ask you a question? And I always ask many people. Are you 100% sure you'll wake up tomorrow? Let life be. Let it flow. Love it. Live it. Be present in the moment. Life will work out. I spent too many years worrying and being anxious and not being in the moment. This happens when you're very focused. You don't see anything around you. But life is about seeing the forest and then seeing the leaves. It's about being at 50,000 feet and at 50 feet. And it's an important skill to build. So don't worry. Don't worry if you don't have the grades. Don't worry if you don't have a job yet. Don't worry if you don't have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or both. Because life will sort itself out for you. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. My 15-year-old daughter Anya loves to bake. She keeps telling me, Papa, I follow the exact recipe and my cake comes out exactly right. I was telling her the other day. She said, Papa, write it. Humans are different. They need to be baked in the fire of failure. But with humans, if you put all the same ingredients as per the recipe, the result is different every time. This is because you are unique. This is because your experiences are unique. So, believe in yourself. Believe in your potential. Believe when you are down. Believe when you are in doubt. Let your mind tell you that you are no less, that you are here to fulfill your destiny. Let no one make you feel otherwise. Class of 2019, congratulations. My best to you. Woohoo!